Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Donna Kampmeyer, and I'm the CEO and firm owner of ActionCOACH of Coastal Bend in South Texas, and I will be your host for today. I am very excited to have our special guest, Luciana Obregon, on our show. She is CEO and founder of Binary X and the CEO of Better Cyber. Today, we're going to talk to Luciana about her business, her journey to business ownership, some challenges, successes, and to have her share what it's really like to own and operate a business as an entrepreneur. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe so you get notifications when we publish our new content. Well, Luciana, welcome to the show, and it's great to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Well, let's start off by having you take a moment to share with our audience a little bit about yourself, your business, and how your journey began.
Okay, sure. I am originally from Argentina. I went to school there, I graduated from university, and then I moved to Texas back in 2007. And I basically started in IT, doing network engineering type of positions, roles. Eventually, I moved to different companies, Fortune 100 companies, and I got into cybersecurity. And I did several different roles within the cybersecurity field. I did security operations, security architecture, pretty much everything. And then I had an opportunity to do some contracting work on the side. And that was my first introduction to having my own business. Even though it was like part-time on the side, you know, I started doing everything the formal way, you know, creating an LLC, setting up a business bank account, you know, a business domain, email domain, website, and all that. And then eventually I just started to get more jobs, you know, and it got to a point where I couldn't really do both, you know, my full-time job and my consulting business. And I'm talking about Better Cyber Consulting because I have two companies, but specifically about Better Cyber Consulting. I couldn't do both, so I really did not make the decision consciously to, you know, quit corporate America and Duke. They kind of pushed me out into that, which now is a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise because once I started doing my business, I kept growing, getting more clients, and I really never looked back. And hopefully I never will.
I hear you. So let's talk about some of the challenges. What do you believe were some of the biggest mistakes you made along the way of getting to where you're at today? And what did you learn from them?
I think the biggest challenge I faced and I still face is finding resources to help me do some of the work that I do. I tend to do everything because it's a small company, and I position the company to be a cybersecurity consulting firm for small businesses, small to mid-sized businesses. I had to price my services accordingly because I cannot go and charge what one of the big four consulting firms would charge a Fortune 100 to a 5-employee company. It doesn't make sense. So because my prices are according to my clientele, you know, I find it hard to go and find resources to help me do some of the contracts that I have. So I tend to do everything myself. And that kind of, you know, kept me from growing, you know, from expanding the business. So I think that's if I had to say one, that's probably the main challenge that I have, you know, learning how to find the right resources to help me with parts of the business so that I can expand to a point, because I don't want to become, you know, a big consulting firm. That's not my intention. I want to keep doing, you know, I want it to be manageable. I want to work with small businesses because that's where I see where the need is.
Fantastic, fantastic. Totally understand. So with having that challenge, what do you think that you've learned from that and as a path going forward?
Um, Probably learn to rely on other people, kind of position myself to be more of a, in a supervisor kind of role,
Mhm.
so that I can basically give work to people that can do the work, and then I kind of review it and make corrections here and there, um, so that I can keep growing the business. That's probably my, what I learned. Find the right people to do, different kinds of jobs, which is also
It-
hard to do, finding the right people.
Absolutely. Agree 100%.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's talk about your aspirations. Where do you want to see this business or these businesses in the next 5 years?
Um, Hopefully, so I told you before that I have two companies. I have Better Cyber Consulting, which is basically consulting. That's what I do, consulting. We do pretty much everything within security, and we target small clients, small businesses. But I also have a software company within cybersecurity, the cybersecurity field as well, um, which is, I guess it would be considered a startup, because it's basically seed investments at this point.
Mhm.
Um, and my aspirations is to grow VinREX to a point where I can transition from consulting to this product that we're building, right? Because once you start building something, it kind of becomes your child. So you want to
Yeah,
see it grow and then either eventually sell it or keep growing it, right? So that's basically where I would like us to be in 5 years. It's hard to manage two companies. One company fuels the other because we don't have external investors. So it's manageable, but it can get challenging at times.
sure, sure. So let's talk about differentiation and what differentiates your organization from others that are in the cybersecurity industry.
Um, I think the fact that we target small businesses, and we have our services are priced accordingly, but I believe, I mean, it's obviously debatable, but I believe the quality of our services, up to par with the big four, primarily because I work with them. I work alongside them when I was working for Fortune 100 companies. Um, I know what they deliver, and I know we deliver just as good of a product, or in some cases, better. Um, so I think that there was a niche that I saw in small businesses and cybersecurity, because if you think about it, if a Fortune 100 company has an incident, a cybersecurity incident, sure, they take a hit, but they're going to keep going. Like there's not going to be a significant financial impact for the most part. But if a small business, right, has a data breach, that could mean everything to them. That could mean that they go out of business the next day. So that's why I like working with small businesses, because they take it serious, right? So everything we recommend, they really take it to heart and say, okay, yes, we can do this, or maybe this is too expensive. We're going to do it next quarter. So I think that's our biggest differentiator, that we target small businesses and we are priced accordingly. Yet the quality of our service is comparable with big companies, big firms, cybersecurity firms.
That's fantastic. Um, so this cybersecurity, I say it's probably still relatively new and growing like crazy. Um, what excites you the most about the future of this business and this industry?
Um, well, I'm not going to say abolish cybercrime, because that's impossible. It's like saying
Uh,
abolishing crime altogether. It's not possible, but at least give people the right tools to protect themselves and their businesses from, a data breach or a security incident or um, fraud, whatever it may be. That's really what drives us, just getting those tools in a way that the audience can understand it, right?
mhm.
Don't give them 100-page document and expect them to read it and understand it, because first of all, they're not going to read it. And if you're not technical, they're not going to understand it. So put it in a way that, they can understand what you're saying and take action, So
Yeah,
that's really it.
love that. Being, your experience with the Fortune 100 and then being out on your own, if you could do it all over again, what would you do next, or what would you do differently?
I'll probably do it sooner.
Okay.
But yeah, I would do it sooner. Ever since I left corporate America, I learned so much, because you either do it or you don't get paid. So you're gonna have to drive yourself to learn different things and do different things. But if I could do it all over again, probably when it comes to product development, like from the Venari X company, probably understand your audience a little bit better, so that you can put the money in the right places and make the right investments. And that's comes with just the product management field, which I'm not an expert in that whatsoever. I just saw an opportunity and we started building. And so yeah, that's basically what I would do. Probably understand my audience, and develop the product a little bit more before we start building and putting money into it.
Nice, nice, very good. Well, it's very, very nice to know that your target market and ours is very similar. We're targeted at small and mid-sized companies, so love that. And having that background from corporate America to bring to the small business owner is just so important, and so underserved. So I greatly appreciate what you're bringing to the table. And speaking of that, what is the best way for our audience members to get in contact with you?
So we're pretty much everywhere in every social media. So we are on LinkedIn. You can find us if you type Better Cyber, all one word. You can find the company page, or you can find me on LinkedIn as well. We have our website, so bettercyber.co is our corporate website for consulting, and venarix.com is for the software company. And then we're also on Twitter, on X, and all the other social media, like Blue Sky and Mastodon, which are not very well known, but primarily LinkedIn and the websites.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm going to throw a curveball at you. If there's one thing really targeted at small business owners, if there's one thing that you could tell them from a protection perspective, what would you say to them to help them get protected?
Well, based on all the projects that I'm involved with and incidents that I help investigate, probably the number one protection that they could enable is multi-factor authentication across all of their web applications that they use, like email, any cloud application that they use, like Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, I don't know, whatever, QuickBooks, whatever it may be. That's to me, that's the number one control that they can easily and very inexpensively turn on to reduce significant risk of unauthorized access.
That is very, very good information. And we see that very often. And sometimes we get frustrated with it, but don't really understand, well, that's the power of it, is just take that one extra step and you can really protect yourself. So very sound advice for our audience. So Luciana, I just want to thank you for sharing your story. This has been very insightful, and I really hope that our audience finds this information valuable and can act on it. This has been the Business Spotlight Series with Donna Kampmeyer from Action Coach at Coastal Bend, along with our special guest, Luciana Obregon from Venari X and Better Cyber. Please be sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to see our great content. Thank you for being with us today, and bye for now. Thank you for being with us, Luciana.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.